All right, so Daniela, congrats on getting in early to Emory. How does it
Yes, thank
feel? How you
you.
doing?
Great. I'm really excited.
Amazing. I'm really happy for you. I know this is a school you really wanted to go to, and you got in early, so that's especially exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about that
Exactly.
process and how it feels? Just anything that comes to mind.
Well, I applied early decision too. So I guess I found out in February, like the first or second week of February. So it feels much better, especially now, like knowing I'm going to school, but especially one that was, like my top. So definitely exhilarating.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Why don't we just take a quick moment and talk about what we did together as we, sort of prepared your music supplement for your application. Now, you were someone who was working with a main college person already, and I've worked with people like this too. Like sometimes I'll coach someone through the whole process, but a lot of the time people already, kind of have an overview of what needs to be done, or they're working with someone, and then they need someone though who understands the music side of things because the music supplement is like a whole extra application. It's a whole extra thing you do. So we did things like your resume. We recorded your videos and chose the best takes. Repertoire selection, all of those things. Letter of recommendation. There are a lot of little things on the music side of things. Could you maybe just talk about what that process was like?
Yes. So I guess we recorded one main music supplement. And so we practiced a bunch over the summer and we recorded two pieces. One which I already played for my jury, and then the other one that we prepared, which was like more of like a modern kind of work. And then after we recorded them, I submitted them as supplement materials for most of my schools.
That's great. Um, so I'm just thinking that the music supplement is such an interesting thing. Not a lot of people know about it. It's like an extra score that gets factored into your application. So it can really hold a lot of weight, especially at these competitive schools, because people have good grades and all these things, and they're looking for things that differentiate people. One thing that I thought was really interesting, and part of the work of what I do is keeping up with things from year to year because things change year to year. So right now we're in a cycle where some of the schools are test optional, some of them are not. And like I said, it changes. But Emory was a school that was test optional, and I remember that you did not submit a test score. You did not submit an SAT or ACT score. So the music supplement I think especially provided this extra piece to your application to sort of paint the picture. But I kind of want to just get your thoughts around that. If you have any ideas around strategy or what you think about that.
Yeah, so I got a 1350. I think that was like my final score. But I didn't submit it to Emory because their range was much higher than my score. But I did submit it to a few other schools like Maryland, Ohio State, and I got into both of those. But obviously their range was much lower. Or not much lower, but like I'm pretty sure like Ohio State you had to submit it, and Maryland you didn't, but the range was like 1350 to 1450. So I was pretty much in the range. But for Emory, especially, they marked on their website that they take a holistic view, which means that they really do like a bunch of the arts and other stuff around your application. So for me, that kind of meant that since I did a lot of outside work and community service and other extracurriculars, that it didn't really make sense for me to submit my SAT score if they had more of a holistic view. But then other schools like UPenn and Cornell, I did submit my score because one, they either required it, or two, they didn't really have much of like a holistic kind of viewpoint of everything. So yeah, that's like my process or what I kind of did.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, with Penn and Cornell, we'll never quite know because you got in
Oh,
early
right.
to Emory, but
Yeah.
I think that's great that you did that. It's
Oh, and Hopkins, I'm pretty sure I had to submit it too, but like, I don't know. Their range is also like really insane. So
Yeah, totally. A lot of it is just building a strategy that makes sense. Every school is kind of unique, and you have to look at it and figure out what they're looking for. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm just so happy for you. Getting into the school that you really wanted to get into, your top school here. I think you have family that went there, so it's like this really awesome sort of feeling. Yeah, I think that's great. So, is there anything else you want to kind of add? Just
okay,
or
well,
just like kind of last thoughts or anything like that?
yes. Well, before I got my offer for ED2, or I guess I did apply ED2, and then the music department, Dr. Basson, that's his name, yeah. He emailed me, I think like 2 weeks before I got my offer, and he was saying that he wanted to see extra supplement materials, not my music supplement, but for me to send him directly, I guess, some of my videos. And so I sent him my supplements, and I guess he watched them, and I kind of assuming that held a bunch too, but you can't really ask.
Yeah, that's right. They reached out to you directly to
Yeah.
to ask for it.
Mhm. Like he emailed me, yes.
He emailed you personally to ask, like that's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah, that's right. Yes, they're a huge part of the application. That
Yeah.
yeah, it lets
And he's
them
like the head of the orchestral department, something like that. So
exactly.
yeah.
These music supplements, in essence, they let the music faculty at the colleges recruit musicians who they want to come to the school. That's the whole idea behind it. And that, yeah, that's so neat to see that he actually reached out to you personally about that.
Yeah. Well, I think that he also reached out because he saw that music was in like my application, and I'm pretty sure they kind of have a process too with the like whole holistic viewpoint. That they probably saw that elsewhere in my application I mentioned music frequently, and especially in my essay I kind of like mentioned it a lot too. So that probably enticed him a little more to like kind of ask for more materials directly, since the music supplements the head of music can't see, but the admissions committee can see. So that's probably why he emailed me directly. But
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a whole, it can get kind of complicated too, where certain people can see certain things and certain people cannot. And understanding the strategy behind all of that is also an important aspect to it. So that makes perfect sense. Um, Before we go, do you just have any thoughts about what it was like to work with me personally? Anything to kind of wrap up?
yes, it was great. We started working together in like when I was in eighth grade. So when I was preparing for high school, and then like now since when I was preparing for college. So yeah, it's pretty like full circle.
Yeah, that's
But
funny. Yeah, totally. It's funny because I knew you in eighth grade. That's right. You came to me because you wanted to prepare for an audition for LaGuardia High School, which you
yes.
got in. We prepared for that. You had pretty recently switched instruments also.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you picked it up quickly. I mean, our goal was to just like quickly prep a really good audition for LaGuardia High School, and we did that. And yeah, and it's funny, like a lot of the work some of the time is hitting these checkpoints a little bit early, for what might make sense, different programs, and you can kind of get on the right track essentially if you do that. Like you get into a place where you were really aiming, and then you get really good instruction. I mean, it could be like a music high school, but it doesn't have to be. It can be all sorts of different kind of schools that people are interested in, where the music can help them get into it. But essentially, putting people on the track, then things just start to happen because it takes time to kind of build it out.
Mm,
So it gives you a piece of it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, great. Well, Daniela, thank you so much for meeting with me. I really appreciate it. And congrats again.
Yes, thank you.